Windows 10X is a new version of Windows that's due to start shipping on devices in spring 2021. Now, we've known a little bit about Windows 10X for some time, but in the last week, a build of the operating system leaked onto the internet, and now we can actually get our hands on the operating system and get a bit of an idea of what it's going to look like and how it works. Now, this isn't a final version, it's still a work in progress, but it must be fairly near to completion because these devices are going to ship within the next few months. So Microsoft will want to get this out to OEMs so they can test it and get it installed on their systems. Now, Windows 10X was originally designed to be used for dual screen devices, and Microsoft was going to initially release 10X just for this kind of device. But then last year they changed their plans. They decided that it would initially be for single screen devices, and that probably makes a lot of sense because, let's face it, getting the operating system to work well with dual screen devices is a much bigger task for Microsoft than just simple single screen. The other big change is that originally it was meant to include virtualization capabilities for supporting Windows or Win32 apps, so legacy Windows apps if you like. So things like, the Microsoft Office desktop suite and Photoshop, those kind of big applications that you would traditionally install on Windows. Microsoft scrapped those plans last year and decided that initially 10X would ship without that virtualization support for legacy Windows app, and it would be aimed at people who want to run either Microsoft Store apps, so Universal Windows Platform applications, or progressive web apps, so applications that can run based in the web browser. So Windows 10X is really designed for people who need a bare bones stripped down operating system. So while Microsoft isn't officially saying, what this really is a competitor for Chrome OS and iPad. So think frontline workers, the education sector, and consumers who don't need the complexity of full Windows, but need that basic stripped down, secure, fast, and reliable experience. Now, you may be thinking that this sounds something similar to Windows RT, which was based on Windows 8, and Windows 10 in S mode. And both of those things haven't really taken off. And we don't really know at the moment whether Microsoft is going to call this Windows 10X or whether they're going to call it something else. Of course, the danger is that people will buy it not really understanding that it doesn't run their traditional legacy Windows applications. So from a business point of view, what do you need to know about this? Well, the first thing, of course, is that it only runs Microsoft or Microsoft Work or School accounts. So you can't create a local account on this device, you can't join it to a Windows Server Active Directory domain. So this is really for organizations that are all in on the cloud, so they're either using Microsoft 365 with Azure AD, of course, or for smaller organizations or freelancers who just have a Microsoft account. Now, I haven't been able to see this in action or confirm that this is actually included, but as far as I understand, this is also going to bring along simplified updates. So whereas at the moment with Windows you need to always reboot if you install an update or a feature update, if you're a user of Chrome OS, you'll know that you're able to install operating system updates without having to reboot. And as I understand, Windows 10X also includes that feature. But at the moment, I'm not able to test that or confirm that. But if that's true, that will obviously be another huge advantage. But the main thing for small businesses is that if you can get away with not running those legacy Windows applications on a device, of course, maybe there will be some option in the future to also stream applications to Windows 10X. So maybe those applications are running on a virtual desktop infrastructure somewhere in the cloud. Maybe there's some streaming solution built into the operating system in the future. We just don't know at this moment. But as it's going to launch in 2021, if you're running everything with web apps, so progressive web apps or maybe Universal Windows Platform apps as well, then this is something that you could look at to keep your users secure, safe, and working with a faster, more reliable version of Windows that is suitable for lightweight computing. If you find the content in this video useful, then please like it, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and please share it with anybody who you think might find it useful. So let's jump over to the PC and see how Windows 10X looks and how it works. So let's begin with the Start menu. You can see here that the icons on the taskbar are placed in the middle and not to the left. So I'm going to click here on the Start menu, and you can see that it's divided into 3 sections. So we have the ability to search the local device and the internet at the top, then all of the installed applications in the middle, and I can expand that to show everything that's installed on this system. And finally at the bottom we've got a list of recent documents. So for instance, if I type into the search box there remote desktop, you can see there that we can either search the web for that term or open the remote desktop app. I can open applications, of course, just by clicking on them here on the Start menu, and the Settings app here looks pretty much the same as you find in Windows 10 today. So I can click on Devices, for instance, and you can see there pretty much everything that you would expect to see. So I'll just click back and we can have a look at, for instance, their Windows Updates. The only additional option that I can see here in the Update and Security section of the Settings app is Anti-Theft Protection. But as you can see, it doesn't appear to be working. Maybe that's because I have this version of Windows 10X installed in a virtual machine, but I suppose that's something that will be included and hopefully working properly in the final version. So coming back to the Start menu, I can move the icons around. So let's say I want to reposition them. I just drag and drop, but there are no app folders, there are no live tiles. It's really basic, and that's pretty much all you can do with it. You can also right click on applications and you get a few options there in the context menu to open or pin an application to the taskbar or uninstall it. So let's open a few applications and see how they all look and interact with each other on the desktop. So I'm going to open Edge, and I'm going to open the Files app, and I'm going to open the Microsoft Store. So now you can see all the open apps on the taskbar at the bottom of the desktop, and I can click Task View here and I can switch between the applications either using the mouse or using Alt Tab. I can scroll through them just as you would in Windows 10 today. If you have a look down in the bottom right hand corner of the taskbar, you see that we don't have a traditional system tray like we do in Windows 10, and this is, I don't know, a replacement for the Action Center. I don't know if they're going to call it the Action Center, but it's very similar. But instead of the system tray you get quick settings. I can collapse it there if I want to see less. I've got a volume control, and I can control the audio devices here. I've also got various options here that allow me to set up different kinds of configuration like VPN. Well, I don't have any installed, but if I did, they would appear there. We can also connect to any kind of wireless external display that we might have. I can also rotate the display by switching on compose mode. I've also got a rotation lock. I can change the keyboard layout if I've got more than one installed. Here we've got the option just to switch between alarms only and do not disturb being set to off. We can switch the location capabilities on or off, and we've also got the option to enable various ease of access features. At the bottom I can switch on the on-screen keyboard. I've also got the option to open settings directly from the Action Center here. I've also got the power option, so I can shut down or restart, or optionally I can also lock the device. You notice at the top I've also got the notifications in a kind of a separate pop-out, and I can choose to either clear all. If I have more than one notification, then I can kind of scroll up and down here to see the different notifications and also clear them individually. If we come back to the Start menu, I just want to open Windows Security briefly, and if I click here on Virus Protection, you can see that there are various pieces of information here that tell us why we might want to use Windows 10X. One of them is, of course, that we can run any store app that we want. Well, that's not quite true, because we can only run Universal Windows Platform or progressive web apps from the Windows Store. So if you try to install a Win32 app that's been migrated to the store using the desktop bridge, then you won't be able to install it. So for instance, if I come over to the store and let's say I click here I know that Spotify is a Win32 app. You can see here that it's telling me that this product won't install, and you can see the little stop icon there appears if I try to click on the install button. Now what Microsoft is hoping that you will do instead of installing Win32 apps is that you will do everything in the browser, of course. So Edge is here by default. I'm just going to go past the Get Started section there. And if I open Spotify's progressive web app, so if I go open spotify.com and open that up, you can see that we get the option to install the app. So I'm going to click install, and all I need to do is confirm that option by clicking install here again. And now if you notice, that's opened up in its own window, and if you look back down at the taskbar, you can see now that there's an icon representing this web application as if it's like any other kind of application installed on this system. And if I come back to the start menu, you can see that Spotify now appears in the recent list, and if I show all the applications, you can see that Spotify is also enabled here in the list of applications on this system. So let's have a quick look at File Explorer. So I already have that open, and basically what you get here is a File Explorer for OneDrive. So for instance, maybe I want to do something with the employee details document. I've got various options here. If I select it, I can cut, copy and paste. I can open it, I can rename it, share it or delete it. If I click on the document, then basically what this will do is take me to OneDrive in the web browser and then open up the document in the relevant web application. So whether that be Word, PowerShell, Excel, etc. Now one major difference between Windows and Windows 10 X is that if I grab the application at the top, while I can move it around, I can't just drag and drop it anywhere on the desktop. It will always snap back to full screen. But I can use Aero Snap and Snap Assist to run two applications side by side. It is limited to 2 applications. You can't run 4 applications like you can on Windows 10. But nevertheless, that's a really good thing, and on a basic device, that's probably all you need. So I can just do that using the Windows shortcuts. So if I take Edge as it is now, for instance, and then press the Windows key and the right arrow, and then let go, then Windows 10 X offers which application do I want to snap to the left, and all I need to do is just select, let's say, I don't know, Spotify, and there we have the 2 applications running side by side. So if I come back to the start menu, of all the applications, there is only one that you can say is windowed, that is actually kind of able to sit on the desktop without taking up the entire screen or snapping to left and right, and that is Snip and Sketch. Now it doesn't actually work properly at the moment, but you can see it kind of expand to full screen and then disappear there to the top right hand corner. That's the only application on the system at the moment that's able to do that. Everything else is full screen. And I've got most of the applications that I would expect to see here, things like photos, weather. If I show everything here, we've even got movies and TV and the People app. So that's Windows 10 X, and certainly from a consumer point of view, I think that this is the version of Windows that many people are going to want and need going forwards. From a business point of view, of course, it has its limitations, but those limitations can also be an advantage in terms of keeping you secure, fast and reliable, and potentially without needing all of the IT support and infrastructure that goes with the full version of Windows today. So this is something that you could potentially think about for your business if you want to stick with Windows. But of course, without that legacy Windows application support, it's probably going to be a slow start for this version of Windows, and it's going to be at least another year probably before that support gets added, unless Microsoft has something up its sleeve at the very beginning that will allow us to stream applications maybe, but I don't think that's going to be the case. So I would like to see how this develops in a year from launch. Of course, all of Microsoft's attempts to do something like this in the past have failed, so everybody's going to be watching this very carefully. But, you know, I think in terms of maybe breaking into the education sector, maybe breaking into that sector for people who want a very simple device that's easy to use, secure and reliable, especially for businesses that don't have IT support and infrastructure to support Windows, then potentially this is going to be a viable option for them. If you found the video useful today, then please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next time.